Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this webinar. I'm Davide Fabris, in charge of technical support and training. I welcome you to this webinar concerning the BuyMe Plus automation system. Today we are having a look on the systems of the possibility, the future of this automation system. The webinar will last 40-45 minutes. At the end, I will share the documents and I open the questions and answer sessions in order to clarify all the doubts. So please wait until the end of the presentation. So first of all, what we are going to have a look at today. We are going to talk about the general concept of the new View platform. Then we talk about the system architecture, the main feature and advantages of the View architecture and the BuyMe Plus. And then we are going also to have a look on the basic system design, the basic rules, and the configuration steps to achieve really the system running. At the end, questions and answers. So let's begin talking about our 360 solution chart. This is a sort of summary about the functionalities we can do, the performances we can achieve, and also the way we can do it using a wired solution with the integrated system, with wireless solution as well, in order to really to fit in all kind of application, starting from the residential, hospitalities, the hotels, the nauticals, from boats and cruisers, working places like offices, and as well public places. So today we are focusing on the View and BuyMe Plus in particular. So where we are looking at the market, it is important because there are so many products on the market, solution. So first of all, let's ubicate our products, our solution. Here in this diagram, you find basically three big families of ranges of products and solution, starting from the standard wiring, the consumer products, and then the professional and special system. So as you can imagine, we are not talking about the consumer products, the one you purchase on the web and then you plug and play, that usually doesn't need so deep knowledge. But today we are talking about the professional and special system, much more complex, but much more powerful in terms of functionalities and integration. Obviously, we are going to market niche in terms of numbers, because the automation system is not popular like the standalone products you purchase from the web, from the e-commerce. So important also that when we move to a smart system, integrated and connected system like the building automation or the home automation, we our driver were focused and are focused on, first of all, on the simplicity on both sides. So the installation, the programming, and also the use by the end user. Design is also an important driver, because really, as a VMware, is really focused on design products with many variants of aesthetic shapes, materials on our switches and socket series. Connectivity now is really much more important. It's mandatory to have a connectivity with the system in order to be in touch with your house, with really your home, and then integration with other systems, like for instance the alarm system, the video door entry system, friend of you, and other. Let's talk later on. Also important, the integration with the vocal assistances that is really growing a lot on the last years. So, first of all, what we have done in the View platform. We use one unique app for the configuration of the different subsystem into the platform with the cloud access. So this is important to have also the possibility of remote maintenance, fully integrated aesthetically with our switches. I already anticipate you, and user-friendly for the end user and for the installer. So no more many things to do, easy to understand, easy to do, and really important, very quick. For the end user, we also introduce a unique, intuitive graphic interface that is common for the app and the touchscreens. And the system, the platform View is modular. This is important because looks like a puzzle. You purchase, you add the system, the parts you need. And moreover, all the packages, for instance, the automation system, the alarm system, the video door entry systems, offer performances, specialist performance. So the system are really powerful to realize very professional installation with a lot of functionalities. So when we talk about View and the home automation system, we optimize one system to provide you all the functionalities normally used in one residential sector, like apartment, villa, and so on. But not only in residential, just to understand you that we have done, for instance, hotels with BuyMe, considering, for instance, numbers of houses, like a combination of different single houses, independent houses. So you really, BuyMe is a very flexible, modular, and powerful in terms of numbers and functionalities, all controlled by a single app that is common from touchscreens and mobiles and tablets. So the structure, the View BuyMe Plus structure, now offer IP-based structure. What does it mean? That we introduce an additional level of integration with the LAN among the different subsystems. Here you see the BuyMe, the BuyAlarm, the video door, and CCTV, all connected together with the LAN. It means that through the LAN it's possible to connect each subsystems and the touchscreens, the router with the internet access, the cloud services. So we talk about a cloud connection, no more adjustments and settings to do on the router. And using the Wi-Fi or the cloud, it is possible to control the system as a user with the tablets or PC or tablet, or the installer can do also the remote maintenance and the commissioning, the first commissioning. So very, very important. Now let's talk a little bit deeply on every subsystem, because View is the composition, is the general infrastructure. So let's now focus on each subsystem in order to underline the plus, the benefit of each subsystem. Let's begin with BuyMe. So BuyMe Plus, first of all, it's important to underline that is open to KNX integration. BuyMe is KNX based. It means that the telegrams are fully KNX, so 90%, more than 90% of the telegrams are transparent to Connex to achieve the full integration with the Connex system. obviously, we are talking about a different system, so I cannot configure by me through the Connex tools and vice versa, but they are able to talk each other without any hardware interface in between. We improve the configuration, the commissioning with the online configuration with a app. So no more interfaces, hardware interfaces, cables, and so on. So just install an app and be in touch with, for instance, the LAN cable or the Wi-Fi through the system. And as I anticipated, as the perfect size for residential and not only residential application. So we're talking about 300 devices, hundreds functions, and unlimited scenario. This is really a very important key point of BuyMe Plus system, because this scenario now are unlimited and the end user can do scenario alone himself directly through the app. We can manage as usual lights, dimmer, clima, audio, so we have the sound system, for instance, and also additional functionalities. Moving to BuyAlarm, we offer a security system that is capable up to 64 zones, so the right size for residential application, with 100-meter distances from sensors to system interface or control unit. The control unit has also the GSM interface, the LAN card, obviously, to talk with view, and as well works with the standard normally closed sensor, so traditional sensor common on the market. We have also the extension, a radio extension with a long range transmission. So it's a complete system really to integrate also the security part on the BuyMe. Then we have also the Due Fili video door entry system, because can be integrated also the video door entry system. The digital two-wire Due Fili system is capable to control, to manage up to 200 devices per block, with a total limit of 6,400 devices, with up to 2,000 meters of cable, active cable, active in the call. So this is I invite you to subscribe the Due Fili webinar if you want to go deeper on these concepts. Anyway, we are talking about 1,200 meter maximum length from the entrance panel to the monitor. So really, even in the residential sector or a building, is really a good system. And also, it's important that to underline that the Due Fili has different options in terms of entrance panel and monitors and handset. So it's also aesthetically modular and flexible. So I can add, for instance, the BuyMe monitor that works as a monitor for the Due Fili for the video door entry system, as well, for instance, a basic handset in the garage, for instance. So it's fully integrated in BuyMe Plus, in the View platform. Then, in case of a big building, big installation, where it's necessary, for instance, the multiple simultaneous calls, we have also the full IP system, video door entry system. It uses a full IP protocol, so we are talking about a pure network structure. And it has also the pixel entrance panel, and we offer the 7-inch monitors. There is no limit in this case, basically, for the calls, because we are talking about an IP system that really offer very high limits in terms of distances and calls. Depends basically about the bandwidth of the network. Also possible to integrate third-party cameras and special functionalities. So what do we have? We have a new IP-based structures with a new interface, new app for installer, new app for end user, and important, as anticipated you before, the vocal control. So it's important, the vocal assistances. So I want to underline that also now we talk about a LAN network connecting the gateways and the touchscreens. The system is based on cloud. If you want to be able to control the system from abroad. So imagine you are in the office, you want to check what's going on at home, you connect it through the cloud. So nothing to do on the router because we are using the cloud. Is a VMware cloud, is a safe cloud. So really there is no risk, and also the privacy is granted because VMware doesn't know anything about what is inside your home. What is important also to underline that the system works even in clouds of failure in the cloud. So if the internet service provider for some reason stop the services for a certain period of time, you are still able to control your home locally by Wi-Fi using the mobile in Wi-Fi, and as well through the touch screens and the push button. So this is important to underline because there are some cloud-based systems that without the cloud doesn't work at all. Cloud, I underline that the cloud is mandatory for the vocal assistances. So if you have Alexa or Google Home, without the internet, they doesn't work. Okay, so this is important to underline. Anyway, if you are at home and there is no internet, you are still able to use the app connected to Wi-Fi. So we introduce a new complete UX. UX means user experience. So we have done a lot of tests, several market tests, user tests with normal people, really, that test and tried the interface, the app, the prototypes, in order to understand and in order to improve the usability and to improve the steps the customer has to do, for instance, to create a scenario, to change a parameter, and so on. Really, we have done a lot of tests, and the result is a new application that is the same in the touchscreens and on the mobiles or tablet, that really introduce what we say also, what we name iconic language. So the icons are very easy, immediately understandable, because there is a small design icon representing the functionalities. There is a description of the macro functionalities, and also the color becomes, for instance, yellow to introduce to let you know that something is active inside this group of functions or this environment. Okay. In addition, the shape of the icon shows the type of functionalities. So the hexagon, for instance, you see in this slide, represents a group of homogeneous functionalities, like for instance, the shutters, the lights, the clima, and so on. The round interface shows something, for instance, to activate, to trigger. We introduce also wizards. So there are several wizards showing you step by step what to do in order to create a scenario or to, for instance, change the parameters. And as a mobile, we can customize the home page with a drag and drop. So you touch one icon, you swipe on the top, it goes on the home page, on the preferred, like the most used functionalities. Now we introduce also the concept of notification. So the system now sends notification that can be customized depending the customer needs. Here, for instance, there are some example of icons, and in order to really to offer a unique interface from the tablet, from the mobiles, and from the touchscreens at home. So there are no differences. When you understand, when you learn how to manage, how to do things in the app, it will be the same in the touchscreens and vice versa. Moreover, we moved to settings, the settings menu, all the not frequently used functionalities, for instance, like the timing programming, or for instance, the watering or the thermostat programming, everything. And for instance, on the right, you see here the thermostat. We move, for instance, all the settings in a specific menu, leaving in the common and the most used page just the slider to adjust the temperature and one icon to turn it on and off. Later on, you decide what is on, what is off. So for instance, on is automatic, or on means manual, up to you really. So very, very flexible and understandable by end user. The View Pro is the name of the app for the installer. Introduce a new concept also of programming, because there is no more software, but is an app for Windows 10, mobile and tablet iOS, and Android. The full functionalities will be done with Windows 10, because the logic unit by Me Gateway has also a logic unit editor embedded. Is possible to configure it only through the mobile, through the PC, because with a tablet it won't be possible to design the logic. It is quite impossible to drag and drop the connection and so on. So we prefer to leave to the PC the logic unit editor, while with the tablets, Android or iOS, it is possible to do everything apart of the logic. On the mobile, so for instance the smartphone, it is possible to do just the basic configuration. So later on I'll show you what does mean basic configuration. So we had, in addition, the integration, for instance, with a friend of you. So just add in a specific menu the friend of you bridge, and then add, for instance, the lamps you decide, and a link if you want the By Me push buttons, and integrate those friend of you lamps in scenario. By the way, scenario is a sort of picture of your house or your room in a certain condition, and this scenario is stored in the system and can be recalled by icon, by vocal assistance, by push button, or through the app as you wish. So integration, I already anticipate you with the cloud, and also with the Alexa and the Google Home. You have basically nothing to configure or add in terms of interface, in the hardware interface. Just connect the vocal assistance to the same network, so the home network, Wi-Fi, and then do the account linking into the Alexa app or Google Assistant. There is a search for skill, so you have basically to teach the vocal assistants about the system you have at home. You find VMware skill, VMware View skill, then log in with the same account as a user, and that's it, because automatically you will be able to control the lights, the shutters, the climate, the scenes directly through, for instance, this is Google Home. So you get all the icons with the names you set in the configuration, or Alexa. By the way, you can use Alexa instead of VMware app as you wish. Remember that you need always the cloud in this configuration. In addition, we add the IFTTT platform compatibility. What does mean that IFTTT is if this, then that is a cloud integration. So just link the functionalities, the ByMe Beamer view functionalities with other third-party applications, cloud-based. You can create your own recipes, a sort of recipes. So if something, you decide what, then that, you decide also what is that. At the moment, as far as today, we are ready with the that. So ByMe can be a result of something happening in the third-party system. And next month, we are going to integrate and to add also the if condition. So if something in ByMe happen, then do something in, for instance, in the Sonos or in the air conditioning or so on other stuff. So it's a very flexible and powerful platform. So returning back to numbers. So now return back to the platform, and let's talk about gateways, touchscreens, and mobiles. So here you have the sum up, the resume of the numbers of devices connected to a system. So up to 12 touchscreens, doesn't matter the size, of which 10 of these 12 maximum can be used as a video door entry system monitor. You decide in the configuration which ones. And up to 8 mobiles. Up to 3 mobiles among the 8 can be used to receive the video door entry system calls, so the redirections. In one system, in one plant, we can add up to 12 touchscreens, one automation gateway, one by alarm gateway for the alarm system, and one video gateway for the video door entry system. In one gateway, ByMe Plus gateway, we can add up to 300 bus devices. So remember that the bus ByMe is a bus system, and can we can connect to a unique gateway up to 300 devices with the same rules as before, for instance, with the structure we are going to see later on in terms of bus connection. We are talking about more than 300 lights, shutters, and timers, and so on application, 64 clima zones, 30 audio listening zone with 4 inputs, sources, and 64 devices maximum, 20 metering groups in terms of metering the consumption, the productions, and so on. No limits for scenario, as anticipated. This is a big advantages. And timer functionalities, logic units, programs, integration, and so on. Really, the ByMe is really powerful. So let's move now to focus a little bit more deep about the ByMe structure. So let's begin with the cable, for instance. So ByMe use a twisted pair cable, 2 times 0.5 square millimeter with a double insulation. We can use also the Connex cable. So ByMe, as I told you, is based on KNX. It's not KNX certified, but can work without any problem, without hardware interface, with the Connex networks. So we can use the same cable as well, apart the audio. That audio needs a specific Beamer cable. Just connect the devices everywhere, no matter about the topology. Just do not ring, just respect the polarity, so there is no rules under this point of view. Cables, we have, depending the installation environment, different CPR certification. So the CPR A or CPA C depends the type of installation. For European countries, for instance, it's mandatory. For Elvox Due Fili, we have as well different cables. that are really important to grant the lengths and the performances. So a little bit more specific on topology, by knee topology. We are talking about distances around 1000 meter total cable length. Just avoid any loop or ring. We can use, for instance, the linear topology with the 2 power supplies at the end of the line, with in-out connection or just a backbone. The power supply just calculate the total consumption of the devices. So no matter about, there is a very easy formula, just add the single device's consumption and that's it, to understand how many power supplies to add, maximum 2 per line, or 2 power supplies in the panel board, the second sketch, where the 2 power supplies look physically in one place, but are supplying the system like a linear topology. So remember, do not make the bridge, do not connect immediately in parallel 2 power supplies to prevent problems. As well, we can do the star topology, and really much more flexible, and usually the most used topology we call mixed, where from a place we can derivate like trees or stars, different branches and connection to devices. In terms of distances, we have up to 350 meters from power supply to the latest, to the last device, and maximum distance among 2 devices, 700 meters. Maximum cable run, 1000 meters. Minimum distance between power supplies, 40 meters, or some devices in between, in order to prevent any loop among power supplies. They get burned, so be careful to not connect in parallel, immediately in parallel, the power supplies. Logically, it is important now to introduce the concept of area and lines. This is a sort of logical structure of devices. Every device has an ID, as a name, because it uses the bus structure. So every, for instance, function, every device is related to a specific address. And since the physical address is unique, we have to decide a sort of topology that is based on area and lines. One line contains up to 128 devices, logical addresses. And also, I have to calculate the consumption of these devices. Usually, 2 power supplies are enough for 128, but just calculate with a simple Excel or a calculator the total consumption of the line. If you have more than 128 devices, you have to add a line coupler. You see LC line coupler is a sort of filter, and create another logical line, area 1, line 1, in which you add other devices. If you want to split again the system, you can add another line up to 16 with the backbone, so the 0. So, for instance, you can do for 3 lines with 100 devices each, or you can do 6 with 50 each. Up to you, depends the structure, depends the building, depends the physical structure of the installation. There is no suggestions really, because the system is completely flexible. Up to you to decide how to split. There are no benefit or advantages of crons. Depends really. The system is completely flexible, and so is related to every single installation to add everything in one or split. So what is important is that the final number of every line does not exceed 128 devices. And also, please leave a free margin, because in the future you have to add some devices and you are on the limit, it will be much more complicated to add devices. So it is not possible to add more than 300 devices. Anyway, 300 devices is a very big number, and frankly speaking, many years of sales of by me we have done sometimes, yes, but it's not common at all because the size 300 is a really huge size of installation. Another important concept is that every physical device it is also composed by functional block. So imagine in the picture you have the push button with a relay, so it's a double push button with a relay, and it is one device in terms of ID. So for the system is 1 of 300. So okay, so this means one device among the 300, the maximum of one gateway. But this one device is composed by 7 functional block. This is just an example because you have the functional block of every button, so 4 single button, the functional block of the rocker, so the left and the right, up and down, and the functional block of the relay. Later on in the configuration, what you do, you decide, you link those functional blocks with the functions with the application. So configuring the system means first of all, assign the ID, the physical ID of the devices, and then link those functional blocks together to realize the different functionalities. So to do the configuration, so now let's move a little bit more deep on the configuration procedure. We have some steps to do. So first of all, create the MyVMware account for the installer, if you have not yet. So just enter in the vmware.com and create your account. Configure the video door entry system and the buy alarm system as usual. Remember that the View Pro app does not configure the system, configure the gateway of the due fili or the alarm. Okay, so the system has to be configured as usual. Subscribe, please, the next webinar, the advanced 1 and 2, in order to get much more information about it. Then create the plant, so the project in the Pro app, and associate all the gateways and the touchscreens. Then you synchronize the systems all together in order to share the information. So the BuyMe gateway, for instance, knows that you have the alarm, knows that you have 2 touchscreens, and so on. Then you enter in each gateway and then you configure the system in order to realize the application you have to do. At the end, as installer, the job is done when you deliver the system to the administrator. The administrator is usually the end user. So the administrator takes the system and manage the system with the View app, the View user app. Later on, the administrator can add other users, like for instance, the wife, the sons, daughter, blah, blah. No problem at all. So you have to create the MyVMware account for both installer and user. Configure, sorry, the video and door and buy alarm system as usual. If they are present, please, again, here you see, join our next webinar. Create the plans, so the project with the name, and then associate the gateways. Here, for instance, you see the list, the name is a casa, home, and then all the gateways and touchscreens connected to this system. Then you create the system topology, the device enrollment, and the application. So now with the BuyMe Plus, it is important the naming. So in the app, you have to decide the names of the environment. These names will be visible automatically in the touchscreens and in the app, so pay attention of the naming. Then you enroll the devices. There is one unique procedure. So this is the naming the topology. Then you enroll the devices by pressing once the configuration button. This needs to be has to be done locally on site. So till now you must be on site. So you have to enroll the devices, pressing the configuration button, and then place a name. Really pay attention to the naming even here on the devices, because you have to indicate in which room, for instance, is the push button. Otherwise, if you have many push button and you don't choose the right environment, later on it will be quite complicated to recognize which button you want to use. Then important also that you have to press once. So you have not to return back there and press again when you have to create another functionalities. After that, even remotely, and this is a big advantage, we are able to create the application. So the system, the app, the gateway knows already which devices you have, and then allows you to create the application. So for instance, create a new application, light bedroom. You enter in the bedroom, for instance, you type a new function, light, you write the name as well. Okay, so you can write, for instance, a main lamp. This name will go automatically in all touchscreens and in the apps. So another big advantage now is that to have one touchscreen or 10 touchscreens, the mobile or not, it takes the same time, because you have not to design every touchscreens and app and user alone, one by one. It is important to remember you that later on you can customize the pages in order to differentiate the touch. So for instance, the touch you have in the living room, manage everything, for instance. Another touch screen so you have in another room maybe looks different. You can decide what to control from every touch screens. Later on, associate and configure the Bialama automation gateway into the project. The video door as well. Please have a look, participate to the next webinars about it, in order to disfruit the integration. What does it mean? To use, for instance, the contact you have for the Windows, the alarm contact that you use for the alarm system, to switch off, for instance, the Klima, or to use the information that somebody ring on the door to switch on to trigger a scenario. Okay, so imagine in the night you want to activate also the garden light when somebody ring at the door. You can do it because the system is unique, managed by different gateways, or for instance by me push button to open the lock, the video door entry system lock. It will be possible to do. Then last step is deliver the system to the administrator. Administrator is the house owner, and you have to do this step. There is an icon system delivery, where the system, the end user, sorry, at home, locally connected with you, installer in the house, take over the installation. It will be able to control the house and also to decide what to do and add other users. Later on, the administrator can also integrate the vocal assistances easily. Just as I introduce you, enable the skill VMware View. Automatically, Alexa and Google Home will be able to recognize, to manage everything. So there are small differences among the two vocal assistances. Anyway, refer to the manual for the pronunciation. Okay, so This is really the introduction, the system introduction. I renovate my invitation to participate at the other webinar. We are going to do other 2 webinars, advanced, where we are going to much more deep with also a demo, a live demo, in order to see really how easy is it. So if you have questions, I'm here. I share to you the presentation in order to leave you the template of the presentation. It will be possible to download. Okay, now you should have the pop-up that it will be possible to download it. I'm at your disposal here to answer your questions right now, or even in the future. Just write to support.export@vmar.com. Other assistance is not planned at the moment. Really, I'm sorry. At the moment, the most used worldwide are these 2, and we are under development to add also the Siri. Let's see in the future. It's a work in progress about the Apple at the moment. Is not yet ready, but let's see in the future. Stay tuned. Other vocal assistances at the moment, no. I'm sorry. Okay, another good question. Old by me system, yes. So for the one among you that knows already the old generation by me, the components 99% are compatible after 2013. So if the installation is done in terms of push button, actuator, or so on, are fully compatible. The old data screens, no. So you can leave the old data screens there, but without the new functionalities. So I renovate the invitation to participate at the next webinars, because I will talk about it. There is for the old system, there is a procedure, a migration that basically allows you to move the existing configuration done with EasyTool Professional, the old software, to the new gateway. You have, for instance, to remove the scenario, to remove the master group. You have to check the compatibility about devices. There is a compatibility chart on the website. Into software, search on the software, or I show you much better. So let me show you where to find the compatibility list. So for the one that are interested on that, so download software, then EasyTool. Here, look, there is a system migration procedure. This is a document where it is written which components are compatible with the new platform, and the touch screens concerning your questions can stay there, but without, for instance, the scenario activation, without the Klima programming, and so on. So half and half. Casambi drivers, no. At the moment, we are ready and integrated with Friend of You. Casambi use the Bluetooth usually, and Bluetooth, we have the View Wireless system that use the Bluetooth push button, but in any case, Casambi is something different, and at the moment we have no integration with the Casambi. Weather station, yes, the weather station still the same as before. We are working to integrate it also with the configuration procedure. as for now, there is a sort of workaround to configure it, but it's possible to use without any problem. So just write me and I explain you how to do in details. All the screen with the video door entry system, no, absolutely no. The touch screens, no, the old generation are not compatible. And also third-party IP video door entry system, no. Only Elvox video IP system and due fili or IP, not third one systems, because we need our gateways that are so the due fili and the IP video door entry system, like all the systems, apart the SIP, are customized, are proprietary. So there is no standard on the video door entry system at all, apart the SIP. By the way, even SIP is not 100% standard. There are some modification on the protocol. So it is difficult really to be open to everybody, because everybody uses different language, different protocols on the video door entry system. I'm sorry. So integration with Elvox IP or due fili. Integration with Connex. So integration with the Connex. Frankly speaking, the integration is possible, but we are talking about a 98, 99% by me with something Connex. The opposite does not make sense. So I cannot integrate the by me push button in Connex or the by me actuator in Connex, because in ETS there is no driver. So the by me devices are not recognizable by ATS. There is no data bank. The opposite, yes, because in the app, in the View Pro app, I can create virtual data point Connex, like for instance the weather station, or like to use for instance a data point Connex because you have a particular functionalities, the Clima, for instance, we have the compatibility with some interfaces for VRV system. So in this case, we use some virtual data point, but you have to do the double configuration. So you configure the interface, Connex interface with ETS, you create the group addresses in ETS, you convert those addresses, you move those addresses basically in View Pro app. So you have to do the opposite. So I underline that by me is open to Connex, is a big advantage. The protocol is Connex based, so it is a strong bus, very reliable, because by me is a really reliable system. We have done really from 2009, 50,000 installation worldwide and more than 1 million push buttons. So really we're talking about huge numbers of installation, but the integration is something to do carefully when I need something Connex. If I want to use a temperature sensor by me in a Connex, yes, but you have to configure first in by me, and then read out the addresses, convert the addresses in ETS format, and use in ETS. So theoretically, yes. But remember, they have to do two configurations. One in by me first, by me assign the ID, and then you have to move those ID in ETS. So if it is one, maybe makes sense. If there are many, well, up to you. Anyway, technically, yes, possible to do. Other questions? The app UX. For Cyrillic, we are working on. So for Cyrillic, we are working on, as far as today, there are just 6 languages. So Italian, English, Spanish, French, Greek, and German. We are working to improve also the Cyrillic for next spring. Anyway, you can do right now, use type the Cyrillic characters on the names and on the function names and on the rooms. What is will be in English are the main menus, okay? Anyway, what is important to underline that the, for instance, the single names as the environment names or the function names will be already in Cyrillic. The application, for instance, lights will be lights, not I don't know now in Russian. Sorry. So you have to accept this compromise right now. Next spring will be ready also with the Cyrillic. So thanks for your attention. I renovate my invitation to subscribe the other webinars. Really, thanks for your questions, for your attention. I wish you all the best. Take care on this period, really. Be careful and stay safe. Stay away from Corona. Thanks. Have a nice day.